all the comments, however, of the warm-up acts, there was a comic who made some offensive comments about Latinos and Puerto Ricans and African Americans and others, and he's already been denounced by Republicans and by the campaign. But unfortunately for the Trump campaign, the Harris campaign has denounced it and mobilized influential Puerto Rican influencers like Bad Bunny, who's very big in the Puerto Rican community and the Latino community. He put out something on Instagram, and so did Ricky Martin with millions of followers. And he wrote, or he said, "This is what they think of us, vote for Kamala Harris." A Trump advisor said the speaker's remarks were not vetted. We're going to talk to Caroline Levitt. She's going to be with us in a moment about that.
Pre-show. That was part of the pre. That was 2 hours before the president.
The warm-up.
It's amazing. The cover of the New York Times. Trump at Garden, a closing carnival of grievances, misogyny, and racism. Oh, only somebody who worked for the Harris campaign and pretending to be a reporter for the New York Times would write something like that if you watched that 3 hours or 4 hours. You had to flip around to get it. We didn't take all of it live. But did you also, you don't point out that RFK, the most famous Democratic family, actually was one of the featured speakers around the most famous inventor in the world, Elon Musk? That stands out? No. A comedian with a successful podcast said some off-color.
But you lose goodwill when before the rally even started, they called it a Nazi rally. Before they even took the stage, they had already said that it was going to be a racist rally. Number two, maybe it's just me, Ainsley. Yeah. I have a dark sense of humor. You know, and so maybe this was not the appropriate format for the comedian to be there, but it's comedy.
Look, I mean, they're focusing. Did y'all watch the interview with Jake Tapper and J.D. Vance over the weekend? They're focusing on the wrong things. I mean, look at that crowd. It seats 20,000 people, 19,500 people. Sold out, people out on the street. And I was reading, it was tens of thousands of people that were outside, yeah. Mike Johnson was there, the Speaker of the House. Vivek was there. Tulsi spoke. RFK Jr., Hulk Hogan, Dr. Phil, Dana White, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Melania, Lee Greenwood was on stage with him singing, as y'all mentioned, and he and Melania went over and thanked him.
Did you say Melania?
I did.
I wonder, wouldn't it be great? Tomorrow we're having a live show in this room. Oh, look at that. She's going to be here live. Yeah, fantastic.
We carry Tucker Carlson was also great. He said, "I cannot believe I'm sandwiched in between RFK and Elon Musk."
Right. Well, you know, and so you were talking a little bit about, and Brian, about the messaging from the other side, how the Republicans, or rather the Democrats, are trying to portray Donald Trump as fascist.
Enemy within. They will not lay off that.
Well, particularly the fascist stuff, which comes from John Kelly and some other people talking about when he was president. One of Kamala Harris's biggest super PACs, it's called Future Forward. They warned Democrats that attacking Trump as a fascist is less effective in the final 8 days than if you actually highlight her proposals and how they would help. So in other words, stop with the attacks. Talk about how she will change America's life.
Well, because it's baked in. I mean, they've been doing this for 10 years against the guy. The American people that feel that way about him, they've already made their decision. But don't kid yourself. If a Democrat would have went to a Republican stronghold and packed a house like last night, the coverage would have been much different. If Kamala Harris would have been in a Republican Tulsa and had a stadium full of supporters there, the coverage would be, do you see the momentum here? Do you
she was in Texas last week with Beyonce.
Well, she was in Houston, Texas, which is a Democrat stronghold. So it's not really different. You know, pick a conservative-leaning stronghold, and then we'll see the coverage.
Yeah, by the way, isn't it interesting? Beyonce didn't sing. Evidently, people were upset by that.
People were.
Wouldn't you be?
They thought they were going to get a free
Willie
performance.
Nelson said, everybody else sang. And the other one was Amber Rose said, Beyonce stole her speech. Amber Rose is the star of the RNC that seemed to cross party lines because basically she stole the text of my speech.